So I said I'd be back more often now, and that is true. So we are back on Bantam cock. Well, I'll take you down in a minute and I'll change angles. A tool turned up in the post which made removing the regulator, I'm not going to say easy, still a bit of a fight, but it's out, it's on the bench, which is going to lead me into a quick talk of how the regulator in this boiler works. Right, so Bantam's boiler. This is the magic tool that turned up in the post. It's just a mini pipe cutter. It's a really crappy one, but it did the trick. It was a whole £4 off Amazon, off the bookshop, weirdly enough. So what did that let me do? Well, this mangled pipe cut so I could retrieve the regulator through the dome. Which works well, as you can see. So how does this type of regulator work and what's wrong with it? Why do we have to take it out? Well, this is laid out in position with the boiler. So regulator body sits in the dome, regulator handle sits out the back end. The flange that you saw me take off with the key screws on this end, and then the superheaters sit in there like that, down to the cylinders. So let's take away anything we don't need for this. So the handle just pops out of there, which leaves us with the body and the disc. So let's start with the simple bit. Let's start with the disc. So there is the disc, which the handle just turns. So first fault is that bolt that's got a spring on it. The spring's failed, and the bolt's also sheared off in the body. There should be a hole in the middle. You can see both ends of the bolt. So when it's closed in that position, the two holes aren't vertical. As you turn the regulator handle, the holes move around to open. And when they're in the open position, they line up with the holes in the body and let steam through. This hole doesn't go anywhere, it's blind. This just takes the handle in there. All the magic is done by that disc turning on the face. As you can see, there is some really horrible scrapes, scarring, pitting and marks on that face, which won't have been helping it not seat, not close. This spring, you can see, is doing nothing. This spring should be pushing the disc onto the face, and the disc is also very badly worn and corroded on the back. So next plan of action is to attempt to get that pipe out of there by some means. It doesn't look like it's soldered in. It just looks heavily crudded up. So I'm going to stick it in the pickle, a mixture of vinegar pickle and the ultrasonic cleaner, and see if we can't get that out. But after that, we're going to drill out that bolt in the middle, re-tap it, skim the face with a fly cutter, just right across the whole thing, polish it up so it's smooth. Do the same with the disc, and then lap them together. A bit of lapping compound in there, just a bit of valve lapping compound. Then a new spring and new bolt should mean this regulator is back to being, if not 100% steam tight, then a damn sight more steam tight. Because all the time I've had Bantam cock, the regulator has had a mind of its own anyway. So it's always been on the cards to do this. So why not? Right. That was a waffle, wasn't it? So, gonna end you there for the day. Come back next time for either more on this or a little bit more on Northumbrian.